I want to start a little bit with UNLV football, and I don't want to spend too much time on UNLV football, but I got to say, ladies and gentlemen, I've been in this town 20 years, been covering UNLV for that time. We've been through a lot of new coaches. I remember when Coach Sanford got fired, we got Bobby Houck in here. His first game wasn't this bad, not even close. Same thing with Tony Sanchez. And I'm not pinning this all on Marcus Arroyo, and I'm not saying let's fire the guy after one game. Let's not be ridiculous here. All I'm simply saying is that for a first-time coach and a first-time head coach and a new hire for UNLV, this is one of probably the worst performances UNLV has ever had. They were on the road. They were playing San Diego State. This at one point during the first half, San Diego State had more points than UNLV had yards, offensive yards. It was absolutely pathetic. And make no mistake about it, San Diego State is not a top 25 team in the country either. They're not horrible. They're not bad. They're not a top 25 team in the country.
I mean, they're definitely a decent team.
Okay, decent is okay.
Yeah, but decent.
Decent is okay, but to only put up 6 points the entire game and absolutely embarrassed. They had no rushing yards. They had no offense. Their defense looked absolutely pathetic. You could find a high school team that would have probably put together a better. They were roughed up. They were pushed around. Their quarterback situation, like UNLV has had for the last 2 or 3 decades since Randall Cunningham, their quarterback situation is a joke.
Well, why is Max Gilliam starting? We watched him play last year. He was not very good when we watched him last year. And when Randall Cunningham came on the show, he said that there was a lot of good quarterbacks.
Yeah, I didn't see it.
He mentioned a transfer from Rice that's like 6'5", 240, who jumps over people and runs like a 4.5. Where's that guy at?
That's a valid question, and the coach is getting criticized for. Max Gilliam was awful. Okay,
well, he's not very good.
He had one average drive that lasted 6 minutes to start the second half, a 4-yard pass, and that was it. And even then, they botched that up, and they only got 6 up there. It was an embarrassing performance. And let's go now to the Review Journal. And I know a lot of people who cover not everybody. I think Mark Anderson from the Review Journal, I know he doesn't cover UNLV anymore. He is fantastic. He's really good. There are some good people at the RJ. I just think some of Ed Graney's articles, I just think he is a complete clown sometimes. And he writes this article in the Review Journal that says, this is the headline. I'm not even making this up. Marcus Arroyo. You think those were the noises Ed Graney made when he wrote this article? I don't know. He's up there on his. He's up there in San Diego State on his laptop. Let's see. How can I spin this? This is the headline, ladies and gentlemen. Marcus Arroyo, UNLV, have nowhere to go but up after shellacking. Nowhere to go but up. Well, boy, that's really positive. Actually, ladies and gentlemen, that's not true. They could get worse. They could get worse. And while I agreed that Tony Sanchez needed to be fired, and I like Tony Sanchez, but he shouldn't have come back for year 5, you could thank the Fertittas for that one, because apparently all you got to do is donate millions and millions of dollars. It doesn't matter if you have a coach that's not qualified or not getting the job done, because as long as you have great facilities, you're going to win, right? Really? Really? Is that the way it works? Well, let me tell you something. That headline is a joke. That game was a joke. And now they're playing Nevada-Reno, the first game in Allegiant Stadium. Nevada-Reno's coming off of a win against Wyoming. I don't know a lot about UNR, but they just beat Wyoming. They're a team that can score. UNLV's defense is pathetic. Look, I know there's probably not a lot of people in Las Vegas media that are honest on the air or in their articles. There are some. This UNLV program has been absolutely embarrassing and pathetic for decades. And I mean that with all due respect. I liked Bobby Houck. Thought he was a really nice guy. I had a great relationship with him. I really like Tony Sanchez as a person. I think he's a really good dude. He came on our show even recently, talking about race relations, and really nice guy. These are not guys.
Yeah, Tony was he took all accountability himself.
He did.
He took all responsibility.
He did, but Tony Sanchez.
Whereas like Marvin Menzies would the college basketball coach would blame his players for loss.
I don't want to talk about the basketball program, but yeah, Tony
just
Sanchez,
UNLV sports in general.
But there's a common theme here. Bobby Houck was never a Division I head football coach. Tony Sanchez was never a Division I head football coach. I hope it works out for Marcus Arroyo. I really do. I'm rooting for him. Never a Division I head football coach. When you're an offensive coordinator, it's very different than when you're running the show. Now, I'm not going to judge him on one game because that would be ignorant and stupid. But you're damn right I'm going to judge him collectively for the year. This team has to get better. In a sense, Ed Graney's right? There's nowhere to go but up. Well, they're 0-1, and they just got embarrassed, and I would imagine they'll score more than 6 points this week. But this wasn't one problem or two problems or three problems. Across the board, this team was just terrible. Offense, pathetic is a nice way of putting it. Defense, these guys were getting roughed around. It was like a varsity football team against a junior high school team. That's really what it looked like out there. San Diego State was doing anything and everything they wanted. Quarterback situation, abysmal, pathetic. Special teams, pathetic. There was a blocked punt. There wasn't one thing you could look at in this game.
Hey, did Oblad play at all?
Yes. There wasn't.
How did he do?
Not great. There wasn't one thing you could see in this game, in my personal opinion, because I watched. There wasn't one thing that you could say you take away from that big. Wow, that was a real positive. This was bad from the final seconds when they had the ball with a minute and a half to go, and they were down about 30 touchdowns, and they fumbled.
And they lost 34-6, right?
They got absolutely destroyed.
Well, the game went under. That's a positive.
By the way,
for the underbettors.
San Diego State took it easy on them in the second half. They were running the ball. They were just trying to kill clock. If San Diego State was trying to score, they would have won this game by 50. I'm telling you. I watched the game.
Was there any one player for UNLV that stuck out to you?
No.
Not one.
No.
Not one breakout player.
No.
Not on offense, not on defense.
I'm being honest with you.
Not
no.
at any position on the field.
No. What do you want me to say? I'm not going to sit here and lie like some people do on the radio. I'm not going to do that. I'm always going to be honest with you. No, it was pathetic. So, again, I'm going to be going to the game, Allegiant Stadium. I'm not judging a Marcus Arroyo on one game. I'm just saying this program, this football program is, I don't know, I know how the Yankees and the Red Sox would always blame the Bambino jinx. I don't know what it is about this UNLV program, but I tell you what, they're going to get better. How much better, I don't know. But, boy, they're in trouble this weekend. They are in trouble. If there's any game that you're going to be hyped up and you're going to have fans in the state, I think there's only going to be a couple thousand fans. I don't really understand that. But new arena, in-state rival, you're playing for the Cannon. If there's any game they're going to be jacked up for, you'd think it'd be this game over the weekend. But, boy, Marcus Arroyo, I would not want to be in practice this week. I would not want to be a player or a coach, by the way, in practice after that just pathetic performance. So I hope they do a better job, because I'm going to tell you something. I know how fans are in this town. If Arroyo loses by like 4 touchdowns to Nevada Reno, even 3, fans are going to be very upset. So we'll have to wait and see what happens. But again, that game is on Halloween night. It's going to be an interesting one, so we look forward to that.